No, don't worry, this isn't clickbait. And yes, we did in fact help a client to generate sales of $20,000 a day. Yeah, I didn't believe it either, but
It's all true.
so my boss said, hey, let's do a video on this topic. And I said, all right. And then he showed me the numbers and I said, okay, you're not lying. And here we are. So here's an overview of how it went. Amazon isn't always the way to sell. And in fact, if you're only selling on Amazon, you could be putting your business at risk. You've probably heard the saying, don't put all of your eggs in one basket multiple times in your life. And Dave, what are you doing? Well, if you're an Amazon seller, then that saying still holds up today. At AMZ One Step, we followed that saying, and we actually helped a company to diversify their selling channels outside of Amazon. In other words, if you want to mitigate your risk and scale up your business, it would be wise to diversify your selling channels. So in this very video, we are going to show you how we help this brand to generate $20,000 in sales a day. Yes, you heard that right, a day, outside of Amazon, utilizing a website, omnichannel marketing, organic marketing, and finally, email marketing and SEO work. But before we dive into all of that, let's look at why it's important to become a multi-channel business outside of Amazon in the first place. If you're selling solely on Amazon, then you're relying on one channel to sell all of your goods. If Amazon were to suppress your listing for whatever reason, then your entire business is basically going to be put on hold. This could result in huge losses for your company and, in theory, put you out of business altogether. Lost sales, lost revenue, cost of shipment to get back in stock quickly, re-ranking costs, and finally, PPC costs. And all of this could come at you very fast if something were to go wrong with your listing.
That's a lot of damage.
Thus, if you're concerned about the security and longevity of your business, then it's imperative that you look to utilize multiple channels to get sales for your business. It actually mitigates the risk of just relying on that one channel, and you might reach people who you might not have otherwise reached if you were just selling on Amazon. Especially if a competitor is only using Amazon as their sole channel to sell to clients. If you're selling on multiple channels, it could be another way to differentiate yourself from the competition. Now let's dive into all the good stuff that helped us to generate these sales. The first tool is going to be the website. Having a website should be the first thing that you establish and get done when you're looking to generate sales outside of Amazon. So a website is your home base for everything that is your business. It holds your portfolio of all your goods and or services offered that people can view and then purchase. So how are sales generated? First, you need to understand that something needs to be offered to potential clients for them to actually want to come to your website and land on your page and buy something. Generally, you have to offer incentives. A common practice is to offer coupons and or sales to entice people to come to your website versus just going on Amazon like usual. Another really good incentive a lot of companies utilize is having free shipping over a certain amount, like having free shipping over $50 or free shipping over $100. You could also offer free informational content relating to your brand, like an ebook or even a blog. And what you can also do with this is you can create a email gate where if people want to access these informational items, then they have to enter their email and then you have the client's email. People also love a good giveaway. So let's say that kombucha business you just started up. If somebody spends maybe over $50, they're entered into a contest so that maybe they can get a mini fridge for all that kombucha they just bought. You could also start a loyalty program. This is another good way to get people's emails, but it also entices people to come back to your site after they've made their first purchase and utilize maybe some points that they got through the loyalty program, and then that's going to lead to more sales in the future because they're coming back. Of course, there's many other incentives that you could probably use. These are just a few that are kind of common knowledge. Once you've built up that brand awareness and orders start kind of rolling in on your site, it's time to streamline the process. So let's look at how you can increase the conversion rate. So in the case of AMZ One Step's client, we were able to achieve a conversion rate of 2.27%. This was the result of 1,809 units sold through the month of May. Although that may not seem significant, keep in mind these products are generally around $110, and that's the price range that people kind of have to think about the product they're buying. Products over $50 are no longer impulse purchases. People generally stop and take a bit of time to think about what they're buying, so that considered, the conversion rate is actually pretty good, and it's only going to increase from here. As you can hopefully see, like right here, we were able to achieve about $199,000 in sales for the month of May 2021. So as you can see from this beautiful graph, the client was making around $5,000 a day. It's kind of like that gray line. And then when we came in to help them, you can see we're trending upwards of $15K a day. And by the end of the month and now into June, we're doing around $20,000 a day. Let's quickly look at how we intend to increase the conversion rate to knock those numbers up even a lot higher. So the first thing you can do is split test or A/B test your landing pages. And what I mean by that is you could test one landing page for a month, and you can see how many people are browsing, land on the page, and buy products. And then the next month you could compare it with the second landing page. And you're gonna wanna see, are people maybe converting better with this one or worse? Are they buying more or are they buying less? And then you kind of go with the better of the two. The second way to potentially increase your conversions is to test out the different incentives that I had mentioned earlier. If one incentive really resonates with your audience, then I would continue to utilize that. If deals are specific to your website and they can't get that deal on Amazon, then it gives people a reason to come to your website. I mean, just look at Amazon Prime Day. A lot of people wait to buy certain products just so that they can get that deal that is specific to Amazon.com. All right, to wrap this website part up, let's just look at the benefits there are for you as a seller. Having a website enables you to have a lot more freedom over what goes on with your business. You can control pricing and terms and conditions and where stuff goes and a lot of other things. One of the big things is that you can actually collect user data, and Amazon usually doesn't let you do this. This means you could collect user information, mainly emails, so that you can have a Rolodex of people, and then when you have a special deal or something, you can email all those people and hopefully they come back. You could also potentially collect data on your clients, like asking for their age or maybe the city they live in. So then when you're going to use paid ads on, let's say, Facebook, then you can enter, okay, I'm targeting this age range, and I'm also targeting, maybe there's a big city where you have a lot of potential clients and you're targeting that city. Anyway, that leads me into the next segment, the idea of targeting customers. When it came to our client, Omnichannel Marketing was going to be our focus from the very start because the client already had a website. This omnichannel paid advertising can be a really good way to get eyes on your products and or services, especially when you're starting out. Omnichannel paid advertising includes utilizing things like Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Google ads, YouTube ads, TikTok ads, Snapchat ads, etc. I know that sounds like a lot to manage all at once, so you can actually hire somebody to help you with that. And why don't you hire AMZ One Step? You're on a video right now, and then after, go to amzonestep.com and we can figure out how we can help you. In the case of our client, the target audience touchpoints were spread throughout multiple different platforms across multiple different types of devices. Next, we needed to make sure that the messaging they were receiving was constant and consistent across all platforms. I'm sure there's some Gary Vee video about consistent content out there that you could probably find.
but what actually works is consistent content.
Oh, yeah, there it is. To put this in practice, the interaction between the client and their target audience was seamless. As you can see, the majority of the ad spend was spent on Facebook and Instagram ads. Our analysts indicated that these were the best platforms to reach the target audience of our client. Bottom line is, when it comes to paid advertising, ensure that you're doing your research and you're actually targeting the right audience for your product. You can do that research in a lot of different ways, but maybe one way you could do it is collecting all the data that you got from your website. The more narrowed down your audience is, the more effective your paid advertising will be at getting you those conversions. But you don't always need to pay for everything. The third section to this video is going to be organic channels. And as you may have guessed, these are things like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc.
Tweet us on Facebook.
You can utilize these organic channels to attract people to your website and/or Amazon listings. If people start following you on your Instagram page, then you're going to have instant access to their feed when you post something instead of having to pay to be on their feed. In the case of our client with their organic channels, we utilized a lot of user-generated content to post. This is going to encourage a lot of people to keep posting in an attempt to get posted on your account page, and the more they tag your brand, the better it is for you. We focused pretty heavily on the PPC advertising, so when it came to organic channels, we weren't posting too much content, generally around 4 posts a month. That was the amount we found worked best for this client's strategy, but don't underestimate organic channels. They can be extremely useful. It's not going to hurt you to consistently post on organic channels. Ultimately, our specialists indicated that without a doubt, what PPC can do for your sales can rarely happen with organic channels. So that's why the focus was taken off organic channels a bit in this case. All right, time for the outliers. So the fourth and final part to this grand master plan is email marketing and SEO work. Email marketing and SEO work is a bit tougher to place in either of the above categories that I mentioned earlier. These aspects are not necessarily paid for like others because it's kind of manpower used rather than paying a service to push ads for you. But at the same time, you are paying those employees, so it's not really organic either. Let's first look at the email marketing side.
I'm going to check my Hotmail.
Email marketing is utilized for a number of different reasons. It helped us to keep customers informed about new potential deals and other information on the company. It can also be used for upselling campaigns. It's good for if somebody left something in their cart but then left the website. You can maybe email them back and say, hey, we noticed that you didn't actually buy, but it was in your cart. Did you want to come back? Now on to SEO. SEO work is kind of complex and would take a long time to explain how it works, and it also varies from context to context. So for the sake of this video, I'll just put it in one sentence. SEO work essentially dictates where you're going to rank on Google when somebody searches for your product type. So if somebody's searching for spoons and you sell wooden spoons and you've done a lot of SEO work, then maybe your company will show up at the top of the Google search. So for this client, we utilized on-page SEO work. Basically what this means is that we made sure that all the content on the website was optimized for keywords, descriptions, meta tags, and alt tags. We also did off-page SEO work as well. Basically, we created backlinks from relevant sites that were geared towards our target audience. To wrap this SEO part up, after talking with a few of the other SEO specialists, it's clear that the relationship between any client and SEO is pretty complicated. And I actually go into more detail about what they said about that in one of my blogs, the most recent blog relating to this video. So if you want to read more about that, go check it out. I'll probably link it in the description. All right, conclusion time. Let's wrap this up because I know that was a lot of information. That's how we helped a client to generate $20,000 in sales a day outside of Amazon. Again, we utilized a website, even though in this case the client had a website. We utilized omnichannel marketing, organic channels, email marketing, and SEO work. We've developed a formula that has helped clients to reach sales goals that they never thought possible. Every product can be sold in multiple different ways, and of course there's various factors that you could add or take away when diversifying your channels. This was simply a reiteration of what we did and what worked for this specific client. Depending on your product, you might need a different strategy. But whatever that strategy may be, at AMZ One Step, we're always ready to work with you to find out how we can strategize and increase your sales. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe because it is very early in the morning and I am running only on coffee, so it'd be nice to know that people are enjoying this and watching these videos. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.